ADHD normal? Are people who have ADHD normal? I like to call it nearmal. It's near normal, but I just think it's better than normal. Now, why do I think this? Well, a lot of people in society think of having ADHD as having a glitch.
I'm not a glitch, Taffy Dog.
Well, I think of ADHD as actually one of my very best features. Why do I feel this way? Well, let's talk about that. Do all people with ADHD act the same? No, not even close. So everybody actually acts different. So what we do with ADHD manifests in many, many different ways. But the why we do it, that's pretty universal. We're trying to perform actions to make our nervous systems just feel at equilibrium. That's a fancy way of just saying we're doing things to try to feel normal. So the things that we do that try to feel normal look a little different than other people. When we were born with less dopamine and less norepinephrine than other people. And as such, we have to do different things. People who have, more of that naturally. And so sometimes what we do just seems to be a little different from what they do. Now, how do you get it? How do you get ADHD? You're born with it. So our DNA coding, when it comes to saying how much dopamine and how much norepinephrine, so how much feel-good stuff we get and how much concentration stuff we get, that's pre-programmed. We can't do anything about that as far as our biology is concerned. Pretty simple biology, but the behavioral manifestations are way less simple to understand. They are all over the place. Now what? We have ADHD. It's close to normal. How do we live in society? How do we function in a way that makes us feel at equilibrium, makes us feel normal without freaking everybody else out? So it all kind of starts with, again, biology. Research has shown that people that have ADHD, the overwhelming majority of them has at least one parent or a sibling that has ADHD also. It is genetic. You're just born with it. And the severity is, obviously there's a whole scale from not a big deal to a very big deal. And, we all kind of fall somewhere in between there. ADHD did not become an officially recognized condition. Kind of hate that word. It didn't become recognized or diagnosed until 1980. I know that seems like a long time ago. It's really not that long ago, considering people have been on the planet for way longer. And ADHD has been around as long as humans have been around. So there's just more humans now. We are more interconnected now than we've ever been. So ADHD is manifesting more than it's ever manifested before. So when a parent gets after you for, various ADHD type behaviors, please remind them that you did not choose the make and model of the avatar that you're driving around this planet. It was assigned to you. You were born. This is just who you are. Please be open to having it trained, because when we can train this little avatar, dragon, whatever you want to call it, it's awesome. It's just not the kind of thing that you just pop open a box and here you are, fully high functioning adult with ADHD. Here, sorry for the spoiler, but neurotypical people don't just get born out of the box and are highly successful functioning neurotypical people either. We all have to learn. We all have stuff to do. So yes, we have ADHD. Yes, it feels hard, but guess what? Other people have hard stuff too. We can either whine about it or we can do something about it. I whined about it and I didn't know what it was. So I just whined about how, oh man, wouldn't life be great if I could just catch a break or figure something out. Learning about my ADHD exposed the fact that my mother, most likely my father, and all but one of my siblings have ADHD as well. There's 5 kids. 4 of us have ADHD, 3 of us admit it. We were just all so similar. We didn't know that what was going on inside our house was really different from what's going on other places. But now that we all understand this as adults, it has helped immensely in understanding both the past and present, and how also in our unaware state that the things that were said and done that seemed hurtful or harmful at the time were not intentional. They were actually more of an attempt at being practical and trying to live a neurotypical life as a neurodivergent. It's really hard as a person with ADHD to live like somebody who doesn't. We're basically left-handed people in a right-handed world. Neither one is good nor bad. It's just different. So think of ADHD like a jet engine. When the foils are wide open like this, a lot of fire comes out. It's really loud. A lot of energy gets spent, but the plane doesn't actually go anywhere. But when you are able to focus that energy, that provides all this thrust, and then holy cow, that plane, you can fly faster than sound. So it all depends on how you focus it. So a lot of people who have ADHD and don't understand that they have it, we're on the runway with this wide open foil that is just letting all the energy out, and it is not being efficient. But once you understand what it is and you can take the controls and you can focus it, holy cow, yeah, we're up in the air and we're flying faster than sound. It just takes recognition, and that is the tricky part. how do we recognize that we have ADHD when we just feel like it's just us? So maybe you feel nearmal. Maybe you feel like, oh man, if I could just catch a lucky break, things would change and I would feel normal. Well, here's one of the things: you can try counseling. I don't care if you have ADHD, if you are neurotypical, if you feel like everything's perfect. Counseling is something that honestly, like, people should go talk to somebody more than they need to go to the dentist. But when it comes to counseling, that's actually stuff that really matters, that happens day to day. I think everybody could really benefit from having a checkup to just make sure the things you're doing are sustainable and tracking, and that you are, feeling calm and peaceful. Get into a counselor, find out, if you in fact have ADHD. It's very important to get screened for PTSD because the symptoms of ADHD and PTSD overlap a lot. And honestly, a lot of people with ADHD do have PTSD as well. Check out other videos, I've got some information on that. And understand that you or a loved one has ADHD. That's literally the lucky break that you are looking for. So once you have the knowledge, then you can actually try to start doing something about it. Let's stop shaming people for trying to do their best despite not having, yet enough information to change their behavior. Like, let's just stop doing that. It's time to get the information out there and share experiences of how we were able to train it for ourselves. That's where ADHD is going to seem a lot more normal. And I've got a video on ADHD and feeling off. Check that one out. That helps a ton. That's one of the first things that people identify as an ADHD trait, is just a day where you just feel off.